And welcome to Cosmic Nerd Studios. Today I am talking about a Star Wars topic known as the lore of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So stay tuned, everybody. Now, 80% of this stuff that I'm going to say, if it's not shown in any of the movies at all, it's technically not, or in Star Wars Clone Wars, it's technically not going to be considered canon anymore because of Disney's current rewrite, where they basically made everything that they made pretty much before the movies, like before everything that takes place, every book that takes place before Episode 1 is technically not canon anymore if you look at their current timeline, which sucks because that means that Force Unleashed was also taken out of canon. This book is also no longer canon, which is Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is pretty much like, what if Obi-Wan Kenobi kept a diary of his entire life? This is what it would be. It's amazing. It's an amazing book. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm just here to tell you everything. So once I give you the all clear, which basically I'll say this is when Episode 1 starts. That's when everything from then on will be considered canon. Okay? Alright, just so you know, I hate Disney for basically rewriting everything about Star Wars, but we're already over a minute and a half in. I better get to actually talking about Obi-Wan's lore. Obi-Wan Kenobi was born on the planet Stewjon. Yes, it was named Stewjon. It's a really weird name, but that's not the point. The point is, before he was the age of 5, he was Force sensitive, so by age 5, he was basically taken to Coruscant because, you know, hey, he has the ability to use the Force. Let's see if he has the potential to become a Jedi. So they do, obviously. But the thing was, he was a very aggressive fighter, and originally he was a lot like Anakin when he first became a Jedi. But Yoda was able to smooth out those rough edges, those hard edges, and he was able to smooth those out and turn him into the calm negotiator, because that was his nickname throughout all the movies. He was nicknamed the Negotiator because he was amazing at negotiations, apparently, even though he claims that he hated politics. Anyway, so after Obi-Wan Kenobi smooths out those rough edges, he's then, you know, trying to catch the eye of Jedi Masters of the time, which included Qui-Gon Jinn and a few others. The thing was, if you are at the age of 15, you're no longer able to become a Jedi apprentice, and he was almost 15 when Qui-Gon Jinn finally selected him, and everything was great for him, because he finally was able to get, you know, a master. He was finally able to become an official Jedi apprentice, which was amazing for him. He was so excited. He was like, yay, not really, I don't know. But that's not the point here. Alright, now one thing you guys need to know is that originally Qui-Gon Jinn was quite hesitant on choosing Obi-Wan Kenobi or anyone to be his apprentice because he had already failed his original apprentice, whose name escapes me at the moment. But he failed him, and his apprentice went to the dark side and later tried to attack Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, and he eventually leaped into a vat of acid and suicided, leaving a permanent scar on Qui-Gon Jinn's mind, along with Obi-Wan's, considering it was his first encounter with the dark side officially, making it pretty terrifying for him, considering he had been a Jedi apprentice for a couple months and had never been in actual combat. At least he hadn't been in very much combat, and especially not with a fellow Jedi who was like him a few months ago, an apprentice, a friend of Qui-Gon's. Anyway, alright, so he then meets Dex on this planet where basically give me a second. Alright, so an ambassador's ship goes missing on a planet, which name escapes me at the moment. So Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are sent to find out what in the heck happened to that ship, because apparently it was important for some reason. So they go there, and they find everyone there's kind of depressed because only the guards are able to carry guns. If you guys have ever seen Star Wars Episode 1, in the cantina, or on a lot of the planets, everyone likes to have their weapon. They like carrying it on their side, just because apparently Star Wars takes place in the Old West, if the Old West was millions of years ago and had technology from the future. But that's not the point here. I keep saying that. I really wish I didn't keep saying that. Anyway, so he runs into Dex, the guy from episode 2 with the big forearms, who is like, yay, all the time, who basically told Obi-Wan about Kamino, because he's super knowledgeable and everything. I might do a video on him later. Let me know in the comments section below. Who should I do next? Because I know in a couple weeks I'll be doing Flash characters, because of the Flash coming back. Anyway, tangents in this episode. I'm going to have to do a lot of jump cuts. But that, anyway, so Obi-Wan hears a crash from an alleyway while he was told to wait, like, outside of a store because Qui-Gon was trying to find out what the heck was going on. Obi-Wan hears a crash in an alleyway, and he goes to find Dex, who's, like, broke some bottles, and Dex turns around, and he's like, I surrender. No, I did stuff wrong. And Obi-Wan's like, what? You did? He's like, yeah, I'm not going to mess with a Jedi apprentice like you. And Obi-Wan was just wearing his robes. And he was like, how in the world do you know I'm a Jedi? He's like, well, because only Jedis wear that sort of outfit. Only Jedis have that braid that goes down. Because if you guys look at number 1 and number 2, both Obi-Wan and Anakin had a braid going down their neck. Because that's what the apprentice would wear. They would always have a single braid going down their neck. And Dex knew that. He also knew that once Obi-Wan was identified, he looked down at his hip to see if his lightsaber was open. And Dex was like, you're making it pretty obvious. You're not very good at lying about being a Jedi. So, almost immediately after that, Obi-Wan hears some fighting going on outside, and it turns out that some kids who were smart enough to know these guards are bad guys, are taking all of our weapons, taking our free will, stuff like that. They start throwing rocks at the guards, and we're about to be shot. Obi-Wan steps in, and remember, he's about 15, 16 at the time. So, 1 minute. He looks like an idiot stepping up to the guards, and the guards are like, we're gonna, like, shoot you if you don't get the heck out of here, so please leave so we don't have to kill a little kid. Obi-Wan pulls out his lightsaber and cuts all the weapons in half, and everyone cheers, and then Obi-Wan's like, I know where the ship is, because it turns out that Dex had known where the ship was and that the ship was unmanned and stuff. So the rest is just not important to the lore of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's just how he met Dex. Now we pick up with him on the bow of Naboo with Qui-Gon Jinn, trying to speak with the people of the Trade Federation to see why in the world is there a blockade blockading Naboo. Why? Why would you guys do this? Naboo doesn't fight back. They're pretty much a nice group of people. Why are you blocking their stupid planet? They didn't say stupid. And then the Trade Federation were like, get out of here. You're leaving. And then they tried to kill them because they wouldn't leave. So then they ended up going down to the planet. So they went from ships in space that were blockading a planet down to the planet where they end up meeting. Oh my god, this is the worst character ever. I hate this character with all my guts. Which really ticks me off because everyone says like, he's adorable, when I hate his guts, and I know you feel the same. You better feel the same. They met Jar Jar Binks. The dumbest thing where it's like, what if a frog and a human were put together and then just gave him the mind of a toddler? That's Jar Jar Binks. He's a complete idiot. He was kicked out of his own, city because he's an idiot. He would he accidentally apparently shocked someone. He's very clumsy. He's an idiot. Just a pure idiot. But that's not the point anymore. I'm gonna stop saying that, guys. I promise you. I promise you I'll stop saying that. I promise. Anyway, Jar Jar actually helps Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon escape by basically taking them to his city, where they then were able to get transport on the agreement that Jar Jar never returns. And they head up to the city of Naboo, where they end up saving the princess, and they fly away. Everyone's like, yay, happy ending. It's going to be the end of this, and it's all going to be fantastic. We saved the princess and everything. Nope, they end up crash land. Well, not really crash landing. They land on Tatooine, where they are then attacked. Well, not attacked. They're tracked by Darth Maul, who we're going to skip ahead a lot. So they end up going back to Coruscant with the princess and Anakin Skywalker, who at this point helped them get parts for the ship by winning a pod race. He's now saved from being a slave because he was a slave before. And now the princess wants to go back to Naboo to go, alright, we're going to gather what few soldiers we have and we're going to fight these stupid robots and the Trade Federation who are above our planet and taking it over. So we're just going to go, we're going to fight back and hopefully we don't die. And so Yoda said, you guys are going to go down there with her to protect her. And they did. And then Qui-Gon is brutally murdered and stabbed in the chest by none other than Darth Maul. And then Obi-Wan cuts him in half. And now he's Anakin's new master, even though Yoda was like, no, there's going to be something bad happening if you do that. And he's like, I don't care. So that happens, and now we're on to Attack the Clones, where he tracks down Jango Fett, who is sent to kill Princess Amidala. And he sees Jango Fett, and be right back. He then tracks Jango Fett, who was sent to kill Princess Amidala, who was Anakin's crush, and he was dreaming about him having, wet dreams about her and stuff. Anyway, he then escapes. Jango Fett escapes. But now Obi-Wan knows about the clone army. And so he goes, and then he gets captured after trying to track down Jango Fett again. We're going to have to cut it off here just to show the amount of suspense I'm putting into this. Episode 2 will be coming out next week. So, see you later, broskies.